Hey, you know how to work that floor sander, right? Yeah, I know how to work it. You're sure? Don't worry, I got this. Okay, what's the worst that can happen? First, we gotta... What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Flippin' Fridays. So unfortunately I did not post a video last week because I actually got really busy during that week. We had snow, I was plowing driveways. I also picked up a couple more clients for driveways and for me to plow this winter, which is awesome because that's extra cash in my pocket. So got really busy that week, plus we had dropping temperatures in Illinois, which is never fun, but I have pretty warm clothing, so I'm usually fine in the outside. However, we're refinishing the floors, as you could tell by the title, and I already started by doing most of the sanding. So the sander that I've been using, let me show it to you guys, is a drum sander, belt sander, whichever one you want to call it. Rented it from the Home Depot. Yes, I said Home Depot. I call the stores by the wrong names all the time. Been doing it for a couple of years now. Ask anybody who knows me directly. They all know I say Home Depot, Lowe's, and Menards. But I rented this one to get the floor pretty much stripped all the way down to its bare red oakness. But we still have to get up to the edges. Now I used a palm sander to get around the door jambs and stuff like that. However, to be able to get really up close and personal with the edges, we're gonna have to rent another sander. And the other one is it's a rectangular orbital sander, and that one can get right up in the edges as close as possible. And we're also gonna use that one to do the final 60, 80, 100 grit sanding on the whole floor, because this guy, belt sanders, if you ever used one, you know they can just tear things up. However, I don't like using it to finish whatever I'm working on woodworking wise. So I'll use it for the initial strip and then go and use an orbital sander. However, before we get to the orbital sander, I want to do some patching. Now I mentioned this in other videos and stuff like that. When we go to refinish the floors, I'll be patching them. So the patching that we're going to have to do is screw holes and other cracks or crevices that we want to fill. As you can tell, as I'm walking around, you can hear squeaks from the floor from underneath my feet. I don't like squeaks. I don't like it when you walk into a house, especially a refinished one, and it's squeaking. So we're gonna try and get rid of as much squeaking as possible. So unfortunately, I did leave my impact and drills at home. I thought I remembered to grab them, but then I was already halfway to the house and went, ah, crud. So I'll have to come back tomorrow, do that in the morning. But when I do that and finish screwing in the floors everywhere, because I started, you can see over here, those holes from those screws, these screws right here, these ones here. So I started screwing the floor in to get rid of the squeaks. Now, some people don't like this method. Others try and go from underneath, but this is the easiest method, especially if you're gonna be refinishing the floors. So when we go to patch the floors, I'm gonna be using a little woodworking trick, but I'll catch you guys tomorrow when I'm doing that. So I will see you in a little bit, but future me will see you. All right, anyways, see you in a bit. All right, so it is the next day here, and we got some sawdust left over from sanding, actually a lot of sawdust, and we got some glue here that we're gonna mix it all together, make some wood patch. Now what this is gonna do with the sawdust, it's actually gonna match the existing wood because we're using the sawdust from the wood that we stripped off. So I'm gonna start with mixing this up, getting a nice consistency, a nice pasty consistency. and start smearing it in all the holes. And you want to get this done before you do the finish sanding, because this way when you go ahead and do the finish sanding, all the patchwork is already done and you can go ahead and sand it all at one time, and I have to come back and just do these small areas. So I'll be right back with you guys here. All right, so we got a pretty good consistency here. It's I don't know how to describe this. Maybe like peanut butter, but like the crunchy peanut butter. So you're just gonna take it and smear it right in all the holes. Make sure it's in there really nice and well. I might add a little, no, this is good. I like this. I like this consistency. I'm thinking if I want to add more either shavings or glue, but I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now. It looks like a mess right now, but like I said, when we come back to sand all this down, all of it, this is gonna blend in really nicely. So that's pretty much it for this patching. I'm gonna go do all the other holes, and next time you see me, we're gonna have a different sander, the orbital, and we're gonna start with the probably, I don't know what grit I wanna, well, the edges we're gonna do like 36 or 20 and then jump to the 60, 80, 100 for everything else. So that'll be when all this dries. So I will see you guys when I have the orbital sander. So we just got done vacuuming everything. I went through, vacuumed all the edges, all the corners really well, and then I vacuumed all the floors. Now I'm going to take my dry sweeper, I don't know, dry mop, it's not really dry mop, but I'm going to take this now and go through the whole house. But before that, I'm going to change my foot coverings because these ones are dusty, so I'm going to change those and then go through, Swiffer everything with fresh shoe coverings, even though I'm not wearing shoes, I'm just in my socks, but still gonna throw on a fresh set, go through these, probably go through a few of them between each rooms because we really want it to be dust free before we go ahead and throw on the stain. And when I'm about to do that, I'll show you guys what kind of stain we got. So let me go do all the Swiffering and I'll be right back. Alright, so just finished up Swiffering and dusting everything, and I just taped off the tile, so the edges of the tile and around the door jambs and the trim that is still in. This way we don't get stain on it. Now as far as the stain that I will be using, it is Minwax Complete one-step floor finish. So this has the clear or the poly and the stain all in one. This was about like $73 before taxes for this whole gallon. But if you were to get a gallon of stain and a gallon of the clear, it was about 80 bucks. So you do save a little bit with this. There's a glare on it, and we are going with aged leather. So we'll see how dark this comes out. But we're gonna start staining the floor and we'll see how it turns out, and hopefully it looks really, really good. As long as it looks better than what it did, I'll be happy. So let's go do that right now.
So guys, why I'm doing this right now and staining, I realized what I was doing wrong and someone might point this out, so I just want to clarify. You should run the full length of the room with the grain of the wood from end to end, so from wall to wall, instead of what I'm doing here. Now later in the video I do mention that I'm going to end up doing a second coat, and I did do the second coat today. I do not have footage of it, however, but it did turn out a lot better because I was going from end to end, wall to wall, whole length of the room, and it did blend a lot better. If you do it this way, you are going to get spots that are darker than others because you're overlapping. So with stain, you don't want to use it as if it's paint. So I'll let you guys get back to the video now. I just want to clarify what I'm doing is technically wrong, and I am admitting to it, but I did fix the problem, and you guys will see the floor in a later video, and it turned out actually really well. So I'll let you get back to it.
Well, it's all done, but there's one problem. The camera's over where you guys are, and I'm over here in the kitchen. I planned out my escape route, not yours. Actually, that's a lie. Yes, I did. The front door is where you guys are at, so I can just grab the camera, but I gotta go outside and go around and lock the front door. So, I'm gonna go do that, and I'll see you guys when I get up there. Alright, I did kind of plan this out bad. Because I'm about to knock over the camera opening the door, I think. Oh! Little bumpy bump bump. Okay. Almost stepped on the floor. Alright, the floor looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a second coat. I might in the bedrooms and like the high traffic areas. So we'll see about that one. But I gotta let it dry for about 4 to 6 hours depending on temperatures. Since it's getting cold tonight and the house, no one's here, so we don't keep it at like 70, 80 degrees. I'm gonna leave it overnight, come back tomorrow, and probably do a second coat, but otherwise that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. I'm really happy we got the floors stained and pretty much finished now, because that means we can start moving on to the floor in the kitchen and the trim work throughout the upstairs here, and start putting the doors back up on the bedrooms and the bathroom, which I can't use the bathroom anymore until this dries. Oh well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.